That's right. The action does not stop. Acorn and Cold are in the mix of it right here, and they have already picked up an elimination as the third party starts to jump in and put their influence into the mix, but Acorn has to pause down. It's up to Cold's hands here. Take a look at the elimination count for this duo here. Already at 7. What a monstrous game are we jumping into here. This lobby thinning out pretty quickly.
This is looking like Acorn and Cold saying to themselves, hey, our first match or two did not go the way that we wanted it, and now they are just on demon time because Cold with 6 elims, and we're only in zone 6 so far, Mia. Absolutely disgusting, but also kind of expected because Cold is just him. Sometimes he will full jump into a box and just walk out victorious. It's almost like he just never misses, and that is certainly a duo that I think is 100% trying to aim for a victory royale this match.
Definitely put a stamp on it. Earn the respect of the lobby, right? Remember, yeah, sure, everyone's landing wherever they want. It's a little bit of a, you know, a wild, wild west type of situation right here. Anything goes. However, once we start jumping into the later stages, your performance here is going to matter, right? When you start determining, hey, this is a set lobby now. I want to have this piece of land, this little bit of real estate, this medallion drop, maybe, right? It's going to matter. Players are going to look at your previous performances and then have to make a decision. Do we really want to face that duo?
Yeah, and again, when it comes to Acorn and Cold, their first 2 game performances so far was a 35th and a 28th place. So I think that's why we're seeing Acorn and Cold really hit the turbo on this one, trying to play catch-up in points with some of those big elims. And if they wind up just keying the entire lobby that they're in, Monster, I would almost say that would be super detrimental for everybody else involved because that's just so much pressure to be applying this early on. But we'll have to check in with them a little bit later on, see how they're faring. Right now, it's all about Death and Polarize. And Polarize does not like his new neighbor. He's got to worry about Raiden making the approach from his west side, but Polarize, he's not letting up anytime soon on Raiden's walls, and that Thunderburst SMG definitely excellent as far as taking out some of these builds are concerned, just applying good pressure, just consistent pressure, and Raiden clinging to his last breath here. Just seems to have drawn the attention of everyone that he's a solo in a swarm of duos. That's going to be Death and Polarize that make use of that elimination that somebody else actually confirmed onto Raiden, but it doesn't matter as long as you're able to collect the resources.
Yeah, and Polarize and Depth, I mean, listen, this is a team that I feel really good about this season. SBG laughed at me when I was, you know, kind of hyping him up. I was like, look, Polarize has been on this uptick, dude, and he's got Depth feeling inspired to put in the work right now, making content on top of just grinding for comp, and I think that's the difference. We haven't seen that level of inspiration come out, I think, of Depth in a long time. But we jump in with Chimp here. Chimp lands himself inside this lobby. We see him essentially in that first showcase. They did pretty well, pushing their way towards the end game. This game pacing out to be a little bit better. Already at 2 elims so far. Let's take a look back at how they earned them. Pushes on in, takes all the real estate they need. A lot of distraction here, and the shots come in. In the process, they pick up 2 for their troubles, so that's not bad by any means. But look at this, Taco. Cold jumping in. Another player just boxed up.
Yeah, it's just another box fight for Cold to win. I don't even know if I can necessarily qualify that as a box fight even. It's more like just an immediate elimination there for Cold, as he's now up to 8. Acorn still representing. He's got the moral support there for Cold. You just know that Acorn's got the IGL calls like, hey, Cold, there's another box, another guy. Surely you can take care of that.
All the confidence in the world. Acorn and Cold here, not even building high, just enough to put some pressure on, and then W-key the player that was trying to grapple blade off to the side there. And honestly, they might be the only team. Yes, I was right. They are the only team on the back of this hill here on the back of the lobby. There's no one here to distract them from doing the work that they need to do. Full keying the lobby, exactly. And now look, fresh duo here, fresh boxes. What do you think he's gonna do?
Immediately run up on them. It's been a 100% success strategy for this team so far here in their third match. Is now Cold, Acorn. I don't call this hesitation. This is more so Cold and Acorn, I think, just trying to make a smart approach. They know that they can probably key this other duo right next to them. Instead, they're going to take a moment to kind of scope out everyone else that's starting to make their way towards them. They've got the point of elevation here, and that's what matters most. Just outside of Rebel's Roost, near Lavish Lair, you can just see the white HP being ripped apart here. It's Cold now finds an elimination from deep onto Creep. Never stood a chance. 12 elims already in tow for Cold and Acorn, and they're not letting up anytime soon. When we say full keying, we meant it, because Cold and Acorn are just collecting bodies right now.
This is crazy. 12 elims right now, and I must say, I'd be lying if I say I wasn't concerned at how they're just peaking right now in the sniper meta, but Cold does not care. Intuition is telling him he has the runway to do it, and he has taken advantage. Meanwhile, Acorn solidifying the fort here, so really leaving the eliminations to Cold, while Acorn is just making sure they're set up to win this game. And all the metal comes out. All of the metal comes out to super solidify the base, gives them the ramp, the tarp there. Look at that. Grapples his way back. Yeah, positioning is going to be key here. This is just an excellent spot to be in right now.
And directly underneath where we saw Acorn placing all those height layer metal builds, underneath those cones, it's going to be a death and polarized. But even if they're playing from the low ground, they're definitely a team that can handle a little bit of congestive pressure. But TK and Bacon, too much pressure, don't want to find themselves getting sandwiched in some of these low layers. Liberate Fizz gonna help them with trying to get a rotation into the next zone. A lot of these teams, though, definitely nobody looking to claim center zone just yet, Monster. Right now, it's just about whether or not they can even get a good position in the first place, because everyone just kind of stuck on top of each other.
That's right, but you know what? Acorn and Cold did everyone a favor, right? With the amount of eliminations they picked up already, performance must be feeling pretty smooth right now. So it's going to come down to who is going to just outperform, outshine the best of the best in this lobby right here. For Chaos Gaming and Company, it's time for them to start finding eliminations. They're going to need to go ahead and turn it on. There it is. They find the tags they need. That buys them the window, but it also turns off the surge, so they don't have to worry about that anymore. Acorn and Cold, interesting enough, opted to play a little lower than I thought they would have liked to. So that's going to give people an opportunity to fight for their positioning up top. You can see the Fizz and how it gives you that extra bit of mobility there. Does open you up to some angles, right, if you will.
Not sure, though, that angles are what Jackson's looking for. It seems as the survival is the only thing really on his mind. That was a potential successful revive, but unfortunately not enough momentum to actually keep pushing forward. Couldn't get that med kit off in time. A little bit tragic there, but Chimp and Scissor, we tapped in with them just in the last round, MDF. This is, again, one of those teams you were kind of calling, like, hey, Chimp, definitely somebody to look out for. And a team with 5 elims, it seems as though this has been a pretty key-heavy lobby.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Chimp. I've seen what he's capable of in person, on finals, right? There was a point in time where he was the new kid on the block, but he's gone, you know, through those hurdles. He's been in these big dog lobbies, you know, in the past, and this is really where he comes from. He comes from these lobbies that have decent players in open settings, and he's got to fight for it. And so far, they're putting up the numbers. They're putting up exactly what we expect of a team like Chimp now, right? He's gonna soon be he's the next wave of, you know, experienced player. Bacon and TK are on the heels here too, though. So he's also a team that has very much many FNCSs under their belt. Take a look at the high ground. Sphinx tries to come up, not going to be successful as Cole claims another one here. And then another one as he follows up into the bots, onto death here, and polarized. I was trying to gas him up. I was trying to give him the juice, but Cold is just different.
17 eliminations? You cannot be serious right now. Acorn still holding the high ground. Cold, he's just trying to add a couple more to the tally here as Chimp finds his 4th elimination. but Chimp and Scissor, they're stuck up against the likes of Cold and Acorn, who have just been absolutely tearing through, decimating the entirety of this lobby so far. Cold waiting for the prime opportunity to strike, drops once he recognizes the split there from Chimp. Chimp doesn't have any sort of heals for the time being, but it's going to be trade out Nox here, down to Acorn, up above. Still has 2 medkits in tow, same as Scissor, so curious to see who actually manages to hold out longer here.
Yes, Scissors did have an extra one there, but I do believe that Acorn might have timed it just a little bit better. And look at this, he finds himself a nice little loot pile here. I think that was a flopper there, but he missed the chance to pick it up. Now it's going to just come down to whether or not he can play these medkits out all the way. He finds another one there. But the shots come in from the side, and the zone does the rest. Acorn holds on by the skin of his teeth there, but they do it in fashion. 18 eliminations there, Taco. Just a spectacle. You need a big game, you put on a big game, and now they're back in the race.
Yeah, that was definitely a huge, 3rd time's the charm, essentially, is what I'm gauging from Acorn and Cold. Just keying the entirety of that lobby. It was absolutely disgusting watching how many eliminations they were actually able to accrue there in the end, but Cold in particular, he just looked like he was a complete monster of this lobby. But I love that play at the end there from Scissor, because he was just kind of taking matters into his own hands. I mean, we talked about how the last match that we saw, it's just, hey, not enough pressure being applied, kind of letting this heal off go through, and Acorn nearly lost that last engagement if it hadn't been just a quick reflex on the wall toss-up.
In that play right there, yeah, Cold, you know, got tagged hard enough for the zone to take him down, but he just completely outplayed Chimp. He edited the wall, but he didn't peek it. He was so fast, he edited the other wall and got the tag first in the exchange there. Just a wonderful showcase, wonderful play there, and that's what it's all about here.